was outside, like above the earth, and I was an entity, and I don't know, I was disembodied, and I talked to another entity that I felt like I needed to go back to earth, that there was more I needed to do there. And then I broke a part of my consciousness off and started going down to the earth. I since heard stories of other people who picked their parents. So anyway, then I remember being inside my mom, that it was comfortable at first, and then it got smaller and smaller, which meant I was getting bigger and bigger, and this was over a period of time. And I could hear things going on outside, and I, of course, felt movement when my mom went places. And it got really tight, and I also was choking on my cord. And I couldn't figure out what to do. So I finally turned myself around. Going out and being born is a very painful experience. The squeezing is terrible. I came out, and I was fairly quiet, but I thought I was breathing, but the doctor didn't think it was enough. So because I was still choking, the doctor put me in an iron lung for a couple of hours to relieve it, and pretty soon I felt okay. And then they took me home the next day.
I remember there having to be a moment to say yes, to actually accept the life. I don't remember that moment, but I do remember being in like a waiting area, and then this guide coming to me and then just suddenly grabbing my attention, like, go now, like very abrupt, like almost rude, not rude, but like grabbing me by the shoulders, like, earth time, buddy, like, not later, right now, and being like, oh, okay, now, and then like locking into that, and then being in this, how do I describe this? It's like, I've described it like a technician's chamber, or like a mechanic's shop that was over the earth. I could see a shaft below me with the earth below, and there were these beings there who are very technical in nature, and they are very, very skilled at matching the veil to you, to the individual. Because like the individual soul has so many rich qualities, and the life and the body and the circumstances have their own energetic thing going on, and they like, I don't know, they make everything fit, they make everything jive. You know, they're able to make this organic connection.
Why is it necessary for us not to remember these quote unquote past lives?
The forgetting is additive for a few reasons. Okay, one, if you want to fully experience being the human, you got to be the human, man. You know, if you want to be Zelda, you got to be Zelda. You can't be Contra. Contra's not in Zelda. There's no Contra in Zelda. There's just Zelda in Zelda, right? Mm-hmm. So if you want to be the human in your story, then you need to surrender and let go of everything else to be fully immersed in your human perspective. That full immersion is precisely where the value is. So it actually adds perspective value when you can forget everything else and only have the perspective of being Alex or whoever. I spent some time practicing surrendering to the veil in a place that I can only describe as a veil acceptance simulator. It was like going to a room where they dunk you under the water of a dark pool, and they push you under. This is just a metaphor, but it's kind of close. It's like being pushed underwater in a pool, and then you stay under there and see how long you can like hold your breath, and then you cry uncle, and they'll let you out because it's just a simulator. Whereas in the real veil, you know, you can't cry uncle. You have to let it sink in all the way. So I remember practicing, but I still wanted to do this intention of meeting this fear. So they brought me this life. This life now as Christian. And I remember reviewing this life in incredible detail. And I knew that this life was not as appropriate as the first one would have been. Like, you know, you can't put numbers on it, but I know we like numbers and duality. So like, if I just being crude about it, the first one, if it was like a 98 or 99% good match, this one was like 87 or something.
So the first thing I remember is that there was this veil, and it resembled a bubble dome over this kind of meeting area, and it was very etheric, and you know how a bubble has all the different colors? It had that, but it was like a thick like wall thing. Like, it took energy to get through it, is what I'm saying. Like, you didn't want to just, oops, accidentally pop out of it and pop back in kind of thing. Like, it was very intentional to leave this sort of barrier. I just remember going and going down for that ride. And then suddenly The next memory I have is observing the mother that was going to be my mother giving birth.